Hello all, and welcome to this week's PDH Deck Tech. I'm Joseph, and this week we are looking at Mardu, giving us the colors red, white, and black. And for this we have one commander option, Mardu Roughrider. Mardu Roughrider is a 5/4 Orc warrior for 2 red, white, black that has whenever Mardu Roughrider attacks, target creature can't block this turn. Now, Mardu Roughrider is a perfectly serviceable creature. A 5/4 that can prevent a blocker is nothing to sneeze at. However, preventing a blocker every combat is not the best ability to build around. It's possible, but very difficult to make sure our opponents only have one blocker on hand at a time. So instead, we're going to go for a more generic combat-centric strategy. And to help us narrow down our selection, we're going to look at our commander's creature type and go with a warrior tribal deck. With our aggressive strategy, we'll keep our opponents on the back foot while we gain benefits from going on the offensive. Now, what are some of these great warriors we're going to be using? First off, we've got Axeguard, Braggart, and Goldmaw Champion. These come with valuable boast abilities that we can trigger on their attack, the Braggart getting +1 counters and pseudo-vigilance, while the Champion will tap down a target creature. For defending, we have Lairwatch Giant, which has the rare ability to block an additional creature. And Bloodlust Inciter is a great turn 1 drop, as it can give any other creature haste. We then have a surprising number of cards that will synergize with the warrior type. Brighthearth Banneret will reduce the cost by 1 mana, and Herald of Dromoka will give all of our warriors vigilance. Aurora Champion will let us tap down another creature, and Bullrush Bruiser will gain first strike, so long as we control another warrior. Even more cards care specifically about warriors attacking alone. Aki Ronin will allow us to rummage while swinging, while Peerless Samurai will reduce the cost of our next spell by 1 mana. Iganjo Exemplar will pump that creature by +1/+1, and Imperial Subduer will tap down yet another creature. But swinging in with one creature is not our primary strategy. In fact, it'll be helpful for us to swing with as many creatures as we can. Tiamat's Fanatics will help with their Myriad ability attacking everyone, while Enraged Revolutionary will go stronger as it targets the opponent with the most life. Swinging will be enhanced by some rare Pauper anthems, given to us with Orcish Oriflame and Warded Battlements, both of which will give our creatures +1/+0. And during combat, we can also take advantage of instants such as Dogpile and Foul-Tongued Shriek, both of which will damage an opponent for each attacking creature we control. We will also gain the benefits of some nice equipment. Both Armory of Iris and Greatsword of Tyr will give our creatures +1 counters on swing, and the Greatsword will even tap down another defender. For short-term pumps, Ancestral Katana can be easily attached to a warrior for just 1 mana, while Javelin of Lightning can be played at instant speed to give some first strike effects. And after combat, we can take advantage of some raid-style mechanics, such as Fire Cannon Blast to deal 6 damage to a creature, or Mardu Warshrieker, which will give us a nice return on mana. And as creatures die, we'll be making our own creatures larger. When our opponent's creatures die, we'll gain the benefit with Eternal Thirst, and if one of our own creatures is about to die a fruitless death, we can always give that death some meaning with Moldfolk, sacking that creature to get at least a +1 counter out of it. Now, we have some decent cards in here already, that much is true, but I'll be honest, we don't have the most flashy of effects going on in this deck. We are going to battle, and it's going to be a war of attrition. To turn the tide, we're going to make use of some handy combat tricks and pumps. First and foremost, we have some straight removal with Guiding Bolt, and the commander's staple Terminate, which will remove our opponent's biggest threats. We can then use some key combat effects with single target spells like Butcher's Glee, or for more repeatable effects, we can use the Mardu exclusive of Dega Disciple. This last one is a particularly good find, and will be perfect for keeping our opponents off balance. But most importantly, all of our creatures are going to share a creature type. That means we'll be using all 3 crowns at our disposal: Awe, Suspicion, and Fury. Each of these grants a powerful ability: protection from red and black, a +2/-1 boost, or a +1/+0 and first strike boost. What's notable about these cards is that we can go from enchanting one creature to pumping our whole team in an instant by just sacrificing the enchantment. 2 other mass pump spells we can use include Rush of Battle and Rally of the Righteous. Rush of Battle will give all of our warriors +2/+1 and a lifelink, which will almost certainly swing the game in our favor. Meanwhile, Rally of the Righteous, cast on our commander, will pump all of our creatures by +2/+0. Moreover, it will untap them, making this a great gotcha card for an opportunistic opponent. But we won't only be playing with our own combat steps, we can also mess with our opponent's boards. Suicidal Charge and Incite War are perhaps the best examples of these effects. Suicidal Charge will force our opponents to attack, while also giving them all -1/-1. This alone could be enough to wipe a board of tokens or technical creatures. And Incite War can be entwined to both force our opponent to attack and to give our creatures first strike. This will force our opponents into a battle they will almost certainly lose, and we will then claim victory on the crackback. And that is my Mardu Roughrider deck. It doesn't have as many bells or whistles as some of my other decks, but what can I say? Warriors love a war, and Mardu loves to maraud. We don't need blowout effects if we can always keep up the pressure and use just the right number of combat tricks to give our creatures the edge. This deck is going to cost us about $13.50. The deck list is in the description. Please like and subscribe and come back next week when we care about color with Naya.